it's your boy Dustin from the Flying Chairs, the Rise podcast. And today, oh shit, you won't believe it. I got Angela here with me, and this girl is awesome. And she's a UFO enthusiast, and she just got herself in the paranormal, and I just wanted to get to know her a little bit more. And she's awesome. And can you tell everybody where you grew up and how'd you find yourself in the world of the paranormal?
Hey, Dustin. I'm super excited to be here. So I actually grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and then I moved to Southern California, Temecula for a while, and then now I'm in Houston.
Oh, cool.
But I will say my UFO experience was in Wisconsin. Actually, my first paranormal experience with ghosts as well was in Wisconsin. So,
as it should be, because that's what we're known for, ghosts and UFOs here in Wisconsin. Yeah. And that's so funny, you're from Milwaukee. I actually have family in Milwaukee. Actually, I got to see them today. They came up here and to celebrate Christmas early because we're kind of all scrambled everywhere. So, yeah, they came up here to visit my dad. So it was awesome. Yeah, it was really cool to get to see them. But no, yeah, Milwaukee. What side of Milwaukee did you grow up on?
Actually, I don't know if you know where this is at, but it's Menominee Falls. It's spelled like me no money.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Good times.
Yeah. You still have family there?
So my family has moved to Indiana, northern Wisconsin, and then Arizona mostly.
Cool. Well, hey, let's hear about your UFO sighting here in Wisconsin.
Okay. So, actually, I've heard that it's common to see UFOs during 4th of July. And it's because they're like interested in the lights and everything going on, and they can kind of be hidden behind that facade, like the facade of lights.
Yes.
But we were on Lake Whitewood, and we were just out on the boat, and we saw, the lights in a V, and I was like, there's no way. And it kept getting closer and closer.
Okay.
And, fireworks are still going off on the sides, but it was definitely not a plane, definitely not fireworks. I just knew.
That's awesome. It's kind of like my first sighting when I had it back in 2012 of that V-shaped UFO. I was like, and I talked to another guy too. I forgot his name. I should know this. He had a sighting up in Superior, and it was a V-shaped with 5 dim lights underneath it. So it's like,
really common, yeah.
Very common, especially if you saw one too.
Yeah, for sure.
No, like again, I love that Wisconsin is a thriving hotspot for UFOs. I don't know if you've ever been to Dundee Mountain. It's another place. It's right by Dundee, Long Lake, Wisconsin. Benson's Hideaway was there. Is the UFO headquarters bar. Have you been there?
Yeah. No, I've heard of it.
Oh, it's awesome. Sadly, Bill passed away, and the owner of the bar, and his family didn't want to keep up with the bar, sadly. That's where the UFO days for Dundee. I'm pretty sure someone else is going to carry the torch for that, just because it's so prevalent in that town. But yeah, I got to meet Bill before he passed away. I went to the bar, and it was like an X-Files episode or something. Like you walk in, and there's a bunch of dudes, like, kind of like Northern Woods, the checkered hats, and and then everywhere was decked out alien shit, like this old alien shit, like old newspaper clippings and stuff like that, and like it was just like I was overwhelmed. I was just like, this is so cool.
Oh my God.
I know, right? So I talked to Bill, talking about how I'm an enthusiast. I'm kind of researching. He's like, oh yeah, check this out. And he brings out a photo album that he personally owns, and he said that he took all these photographs of UFOs that have been coming over the bar and over the lake that's on Long Lake there. And I was like, again, I was just blown away that he had his own personal evidence and stuff like that. And very nice guy, very. I believe the stories. He didn't really It sounded convincing to me, and I love the fact that everybody in the bar was talking about UFOs. It's not like
Yeah.
sports or any of that. It's just like pure UFO. That's why I almost busted a nut when I came in. I was like, "Holy shit, this is my bar!" You
This
know,
is the deal. I love this bar.
yeah, yeah. No, sadly, again, that his family didn't want to keep up with it. I don't know if it's still up for sale. I don't know what's the deal. I'm always keeping an eye out because I like to go visit Dundee. They have. Dundee Mountain, obviously, and they actually have a campsite right on the base of the mountain. So I think it's like
Mm.
perfect. I don't know if you know much about Dundee. It's like it's it's very ancient. The Native Americans called it Spirit Hill because there's so much weird activity
I've heard
happening there.
that. Yes, yes.
So, yeah, people have witnessed UFOs flying over the mountain, hovering over the mountain.
Yep.
Bill even had a theory there might be a pyramid underneath the mountain. And it's weird how the mountain was formed in the beginning, I heard, because Wisconsin was one of the last ice glaciers during the Ice Age to go
Right.
away. And I guess there was a raging river underneath a gigantic one underneath the glacier that made
Okay.
there was just again just melting away. But we're carrying these big boulders that just happen to keep stacking on each other after this raging river underneath. That's what their theory was.
That's so
When I got
cool.
there, I read that little plaque. I was like, "Oh, very interesting." But it makes you wonder too. Would it cover something up very important to extraterrestrals? Or some kind of minerals down there? Or yes, was there once a pyramid? Because we do have
Mhm.
Wisconsin at Rock Lake. We have 10 elongated pyramids. I think I get pictures of them. This is like from
Yes, show that. Show that shit.
yeah, a scuba diver from the 70s that did some drawings of this thing. There it is. So the little guy in the scuba gear. But no, there's other pictures, other radar pictures. The fact that this guy went down there and saw the elongated ones. This
Yep.
is very murky water. The fact that it's, I think, slowly sinking. But the first settlers that first came to Wisconsin saw these poking out of the water, and they asked the
Mm.
natives, the local natives here, what these were, and they said that they were the stone pyramid, no, stone teepees of the ancient
Teepees,
ones, stone
yes.
teepees of the ancient ones that they didn't know much about. So it's like, huh, it's like the fact that it's underwater and this place was once a glacier, was it built before the glaciers or like what the hell? It's a lot of questions that still need to be answered. There's a guy named Frank Joseph who wrote two books about the pyramids of Rock Lake. Him and his team have gone down there scuba diving.
Wow.
So yeah, there's again reported 10 pyramids that are like this at the bottom of Rock Lake. And then we have Astaland that's nearby that too. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
We have land pyramids here in Wisconsin. Would you believe that?
Actually do. I do believe it.
Megalithic. I'll show them really quick.
And it's so funny because we were talking about the water situation, like they're
Yes,
under the water.
yes.
Oh, cool.
And this is 5 miles away from Rock Lake where they have
Okay.
the pyramids. So the Native Americans say about this place too that these people came from afar, dressed differently, and some of them practice elongating skulls, and they set up shop here and built this gigantic wall. They have to, put new pillars
Wow.
there every year, but these are megalithic pyramids because look at how
Really?
tiny these people are compared,
Yeah,
step pyramids. So yeah, they're huge.
that's beautiful.
So this is the pyramid of the sun, and then the other side they have. Oh, here. This is the pyramid of the moon. It's the one stake here. It's pyramid.
Okay, okay, that's cool. I
And
love
then they
that.
have this river that had fresh water and food.
Boom.
So they had it was weird because again, coming from afar, setting up shop here, and then building a wall, and then raging war with local Indians, practicing cannibalism.
Oh,
And the most mysterious part about this place was the people dropped everything and disappeared without a trace.
of
They had
course.
there's no sign of sickness or war. They just like dropped everything and just disappeared. The fact that they had tons of water and food right behind them, and just Wisconsin was pretty
Everything.
prevalent with deer and other things. But yeah, very weird. And they even
Super
thought that
weird.
the Aztec might have came here. That's why they called it Aztaland. At first, they thought the
Oh,
Aztec were the
okay.
first ones to come up here. The description. They actually have a princess that they worshipped here, and they have a sacred a burial for her. And she's buried with she shells that were all the way from the Atlantic Ocean. So after she
Wow.
died, or maybe on her deathbed, they had somebody or a group of people. I mean, from Wisconsin to the Atlantic Ocean on foot. I mean,
Mm-mm.
I guess maybe it's nothing if they did it from South America. That's just a little trip. That's a hop, skip away. What are you talking about? But no, it's I go there a lot. I take a lot of people who've never been there. I
Yeah,
just
that's
recommend people if you ever come back to Wisconsin in the summertime, go check it out. They actually have UW students that do digs there still digging up
oh,
pottery and still digging up bones. And they actually have a little museum right next door to this place that has a whole collection of all throughout the century years of digging in there.
beautiful. I'm
Beautiful.
coming. I'm coming to see you.
You better. God damn
Duh.
it. Duh. And no, there's another place. We have we have thousands and thousands of mounds here. But we have depictions of these humanoid astronaut-looking mounds uh, that only need to be. They can only be seen from the sky. So I can
That
find.
I've actually heard of.
Yes. You ever
Yes.
heard the man mound in Baraboo?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if I have a picture here. Shit. Sorry. Dun, dun.
All good. Cheers to you.
Thanks. Where the hell is it? Well, I can't find it. I'll just forget it. But no, the fact that you there it is. I got it. So this is the Man Mountain Baraboo, and its legs got chopped off, not knowing back in the 1920s that when they were making roads that it was once a mound, and like, oh, sorry. But there were actually four other mounds about the same size like this that got destroyed by roads and other foundations. So this is the last surviving one. The fact that there's a plaque there that says they're depicting a powerful god. And what
Love it.
powerful god is looking like that and the one that you have to entice to come back by making it like from being seen from the sky? Huh? Tell me that.
Boom. Boom.
Bam!
From the
Cha-ching!
sky. Mm-hmm.
Like how bulbous this thing is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And a
Love that.
powerful god? Man,
Yeah.
say no more.
Say no more.
So yeah, we have an ancient, rich history of ancient astronauts here and modern day UFO sightings. So yeah, I'm glad that you are from Wisconsin, and the fact that you had your own experience here that warms my heart that like the only experience that you did have was in Wisconsin, and you even had a ghost experience here. I haven't had any ghost experiences myself. I like to have one. And people are encouraging me to go ghost hunting with them. I'd like to do that sometime. I just need to get my ass going out there.
Do
But
it.
yeah, I like to hear your ghost story. I have one ghost story. It's not mine, but it's my dad's, and it's always fun to tell. But would you like to tell me yours?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so my grandfather owned this farmhouse that was hundreds of years old. We don't even know how old it was. And it had three stories. So the basement, the regular quarters, and then the servants' quarters. And they had like passageways going through, even through
Mm.
the different areas. And they were boarded up because, of course, they didn't want to pay extra for the heat. These areas weren't being used. So they boarded up these areas. And I would always hear stuff. And I was like, okay, it's the wind, it's something. There was a room that my grandfather had me stay in one night. And it had one of the passageways that was boarded up and then a door.
Oh, okay.
Tell me how the door opened and then I was hearing noises. I had never stayed in that room again. I
Oh
stayed with
shit.
my parents. I was like, nope, never again.
What,
I
what
was
kind of noises did you hear?
I was only like 7 or 8,
Hmm.
and I was hearing footsteps. I was hearing like, I don't know, just shuffling around. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Like people
right.
moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd freak me out too. I'd be fucking dipping.
I was like, there's no way that's wind. And they opened the door. How? Like
Oh
a
yeah.
gust of wind. Okay.
No. Uh-uh. Well, I can tell you my dad's ghost story. That's my only connection to that. It's very interesting, and I heard a lot of similarities from other ghost hunters and other people who experience stuff like this. But him and his cousin were at the house at his house, and they're waiting for all the family members to come from the back, or they're visiting my dad's dying grandpa. And so, and his grandpa was living at their house too at the time. They had a big house, and that's how they did it back in the day. The
Mm-hmm.
grandparents kind of lived with them and stuff like that.
Yep.
Anyways, this is in Milwaukee too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he and his cousin were just in the house waiting to hear back from the family, and they get a phone call from his mother, my dad's mother, and she's saying, "Yeah, Grandpa passed away. We're gonna be home soon." And he's like, okay. And him and his cousin were just, hanging out in the living room, and they hear in the basement sawing and hammering and other stuff like Grandpa was shuffling stuff in his tool um, workshop in the basement. Enough where it scared the shit out of both of them. Because the fact that you have another person clarifying what you're hearing and
Yes.
witnessing at the same time. So they were both like crying. They were about like 9 years old at the time too. So like when they got home, they like expressed what what they heard with Grandpa shortly after that phone call. And then I talked to other people too. Like they, have you ever seen the movie Ghost?
Of course.
Like like the pottery and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
like in the beginning, or when he's in the train station, he meets this other ghost that like can actually like touch and move other things around without like with ease, basically, but he can't do any of that. And he's like, I need to know how the fuck you're
Yeah.
doing this, like then he finally like tells him like you need to concentrate, take all your power, and they just to move like a simple coin like a few inches.
Yeah.
It took so much energy and power
Energy.
from that ghost to do. So it makes you think too, like, was his project uh that didn't get finished. He wanted to finish so bad where like he broke through that fucking
Yeah.
barrier where he's like, okay, I'm gonna pick up this fucking saw and I'm gonna pick up this hammer and bang on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Enough for like,
That residual energy. He was just like,
yeah,
yes, let's do it.
let's get it back. It's one last,
Wow.
bang. No, it makes sense to me too. Like, I don't know if you heard of there's another theory in the ghost community. I recently uh got to hear about. I never heard about it either until it gives me more thought about it. You ever heard stone tape theory?
I have not.
Okay,
Tell me.
stone tape theory is when the theory is that a person dies in a room, their soul goes through the ceiling or the wall or something
Mm-hmm.
out of the room, but there is a recording
Yep.
left behind of like the last little bloops and moments. Because sometimes there's a lot of witnessing saying the ghost does the same thing over and over every time. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, that
so it's
residual energy. Yeah,
so
exactly.
again, it's just the same recording. So somebody human here can activate this little recording of this ghost that's still because you would hate to think that a soul is trapped in this room. That's the only way you're
Right.
gonna have for all eternities. It's like, holy fuck.
It's
That
just
sucks.
that energy that they left behind. And
Yes.
like,
The
and
blip
I
it
have to
is
say,
stayed left behind where people can witness and it's there to come out whenever it has enough energy to, or it has
yeah.
like hmm,
Yeah, and like, okay,
sorry.
so that kind of coincides with my mom had a ton of ghost stories.
Oh, cool. Share
And
some.
one of them was, of course, in a Wisconsin farmhouse, her aunt's house. It was boarded up, and there was a specific room that they boarded up and nobody used. And it was because they would hear a rocking chair consistently in this
Ooh.
room. And they said, oh, it's fine. We don't bother it. It doesn't bother us. They just let it be. Like it was part of life. It was Like just it doesn't bother us. So why are we gonna, like let's just board off the area, let it be.
Throw some juju or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I was like, okay, then. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it was a huge house. They didn't use all the rooms anyway, but it was cool to hear that.
yeah, that's interesting. No, there's like a book, I think, Haunted Wisconsin, where it has like all these locations of all these houses that claim to
Yes.
be haunted. Here in Madison, there's one haunted bar called the Ohio that actually has a long history of haunting. Back in the 1920s, there's been like weird fires, weird suicides.
Ooh.
There's been bottles been thrown off the shelves, stools flipped. Enough for multiple I'm sorry, multiple ghost hunters that have TV shows go there and film.
Mm-hmm.
They have a few filming documentaries at different ghost hunters and stuff. But yeah, again, it's just so cool that um, they have great tacos, by the way. So I go there sometimes. It's
Oh,
really nice.
yes.
Yeah, and the fact that I love their logo is the little ghost, so they keep it, it's kind of fun still, like the fact that the
Yeah.
spirits are there and it had been there.
That's cute.
And
Yeah.
no, it's really cool. But that's
So
why I
the
played. Sorry.
Coronado, I don't know if you've heard of the Coronado
No,
story.
tell me.
So the Coronado is on Coronado Island. It's kind of part of San Diego in California. My cousins lived on Coronado Island. They were like they had money because that place was ritzy as fuck. And then the Hotel del Coronado. It's been there forever, and all these famous people stayed there. There's a story, I forget what room number it was, but the woman, her husband died. She stayed in there and then she ended up jumping out from that window and then her ghost is there for sure. Like they
Huh.
have so many stories. They have a book about it. And I stayed in like 5 doors down.
Oh,
I was like,
oh,
that's the
crazy.
closest I could get. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
That's awesome. No, like I love how you ever heard of the curse of poltergeist? The
What do you
poltergeist
mean?
curse?
No, what?
Oh, you never heard? Okay. So, there was a curse. Whoever made that movie did their
Oh,
homework
the
way too well, where they brought some
movie.
fucking entity in that motherfucker who is taking out people. That little girl ended up having
Yeah.
dying at a young age at a certain weird fucked up disease, and then that Native American died shortly after making the second one. And they used real. I heard they used real corpses,
Yes.
real
Okay, I
corpses
have
in
heard
that
that.
the swimming pool, and they used that dying guy in the third one. Or no, no, it's the second one. That
Oh yeah,
creepy
the old
the old
sucking
dude,
in face
he
guy.
was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
his
yeah.
he was on his deathbed
Nope.
that whole
Yep.
filming because they thought it was really good that he's like
Wow, that's fucked
and like
up.
how a real that's not super
That's
fucked up.
fucked up.
That's
Yeah.
super morbid. But the fact that you're bringing all this morbid shit in, there's weird fires that started on set. Other people get sick. Weird shit was happening. I was just like, huh.
I
And it makes
did.
you.
I did hear a little bit about that, and then like I'm sure you've heard of the Wizard of Oz whole thing, the curse of Wizard of Oz. Yeah,
Yeah, there was
same
some like
thing.
then like a munchkin commit suicide in the woods,
Yeah,
and they
and
have that on film.
you could see something vaguely in the background. Then a bunch of like spiritual stuff happened, like ghosts and spirits and things. Yeah, yeah, bunch of crazy shit.
Well, I think that Tin Man had a short lifespan after that crazy makeup they put on him with all that
It's
lead and
all
shit.
lead.
Yeah. He's gonna get some radiation after this. Holy Christ. No, yeah, I say there's people who do their homework or bringing back uh real shit. I like The Exorcist too. I feel like they really did homework on how priests handle exorcisms
Oh
and
yeah.
what was real and what's not real. Like the Emily Rose too was like the real life one where multiple
Emily Rose, yeah.
demons were inside her and shit. Like, yeah, man.
That was good. And it had all the legal standpoints and
Yes,
everything. Like all it was crazy.
that is crazy.
And psychological standpoints of like, oh, she had epilepsy and this and this. It's like,
Yeah, but then she's speaking like old
yeah, no.
Latin
Mm-mm.
perfectly and like
I
uh
don't, yeah, I don't understand because I was raised Catholic in
mhm.
Wisconsin. Went to Catholic private school with the little jumpers and the nuns and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like, to me, it's crazy when people don't believe in exorcisms and things like that because I have heard so many stories. I've heard
The
stories
stigmata
from
too.
my own fathers like that I
Mhm.
went through Catholic private school with about like Ouija boards and things coming out and like okay, so people would burn Ouija boards and then he would go and try to help the people out and they would hear just like ghosts around the house like circling. It was the craziest stories.
That is awesome. No, again, there's I was gonna say another crazy movie that I can relate to with that. Damn, it was on the top of my tongue. But no, with Emily Rose too, with like God damn it, it was on the top of my head.
Sorry.
Damn it. No, fuck. Oh, did I just tell you I had a brain fart? My bad.
Wait, no. I want to know who was in it. What's it about? We got to figure this out now. I'm OCD.
No, here, stigmata. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Stigmata is another one that's really real and has been happening to people around the world who believe in the Christian faith. Um, I find that's very powerful too. There's a monk back in the I don't know the 1800s that like bled a
Mhm.
pint of blood a day from his stigmata wounds. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Stigmata with the woman who gets stigmata.
I did like
That's
years ago.
That
I
one's
don't.
really good.
Yeah. I
My
have to see it
God.
again. Then I have to see it again. I haven't
Yeah,
seen it in a
that
long
was
time.
pretty gnarly. But no, like I that's what I'm about. I'm more about the more you have to see it to believe it type shit. Like
Hmm.
um
Give me the evidence.
yes, that's what again here that's why I'm very into the ancient astronaut aspect and like how even religion got its start in a sense, but not like you never really lose God in a sense when you think about ancient astronauts. They're still like people they're just beings that are higher in power and they did give us
Hmm.
knowledge kind of the same daily with God. But I was gonna say the cargo cult. Have you ever heard of the cargo cult?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you about the cargo cult
Like, tell me all the things.
because I believe our first religions started with the weather. The weather was the first gods. The
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
wind,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
rain, the
Yeah.
thunder, earthquakes, something they
Volcanoes.
can physically touch and see
Hmm.
turns into gods. And then it
Hmm.
seemed like out of the caves that they came, they had these other descriptions out of the blue, almost all around the world, almost around the same time of each other, talking about these gods coming down with vehicles, flying chariots, flaming flying
Hmm.
chariots, like the
Hmm.
gods coming down and interacting with humans, with agriculture, mathematics, and breeding, and other things. Just the fact that they were side by side with us at one point to move society forward. Because again, those megalithic structures in Egypt and Baalbek and other all around the world that you see that you look at their toolbox and you see dental floss and chicken bones and you're like, fuck yourself. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you for making me think that you're whipping some healthy slave on the back, dragging
No.
25-ton boulders across different terrains 20 miles away from the quarry place. Yeah, fuck you. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying that aliens built all the megalithic structures. They gave the tools to
Oh yeah.
borrow to make these things. And they even sketch it on the fucking walls that the gods were the ones teaching and helping do what they were doing.
And
And
you've
it's
heard
like,
about the most recent, like the pillars under.
yes,
Yes.
right?
Wow.
Oh,
What?
fuck. Yeah, there's more there than, dude, just, it's crazy. Even in South America with all the megalithic pyramids. They found like one of the megalithic pyramids in Chichen Itza has flowing mercury underneath it. And it's like,
Like,
what?
what the fuck?
And mercury is probably a power source of some sort. And then they
Yeah.
find mica in these temples. And why do you think they need mica? To protect from heat. It's like landing bases for extraterrestrials to land on. Again, with even like we can talk about the Holy Bible books, stories that I like to.
I
Uh,
want to bring up a verse real quick because I
yeah,
did my
please do.
research before coming
Do
on
it.
here.
Do it.
So, because you were talking about the chariot of fire, so
Yes.
it's 2 Kings 2:11. As they were walking alone and talking together, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them. And Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind.
Yes.
Whirlwind! Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like a little beam of world. Yes, that is so awesome. I'm so glad you found that verse. That is so sick. Yes. And the book of Enoch. I like the
Yes.
old, if you ever like get your hands on some of the the oldest types of the Bibles, I think tell them more of the truth. Because there are a lot of the people who rewrite the Bible saying that it wasn't important or that's just too far of
Oh,
our thinking, you
it's
know.
like what did they call it? It's just like a like what do they call Psalms? They say it's like a story. You
Yes.
know, it's not like an actual realistic version, but it's like no, it's so
It is,
real.
and it's if you look at it more like the Bible was more or less a collection of UFO contacts that were seen by many. Enough where
Mhm.
someone would agree that we should all put this in this book, right? It's just like
Yes.
you just can't be some one guy with one idea. So, oh yeah, here we go. That sounds cool. You know what I'm saying? Like
No.
it's got to be witnessed by thousands or hundreds to be like, we need to save this in our books and we got to write about it. Again, with the book of Enoch, that's very important to me because it describes about the angels in heaven that were having the disagreements of what's going on here on earth. That's why we have Lucifer and his 200 followers. Like, hey, man, I think these humans deserve knowledge and, thinking and not just walking around like goofy fucks, how God it wanted us to be at one time. So when he was brought to earth, they were mating with women, creating giants, having Adam bite that apple, and it's like
The
having knowledge
Nephilims.
flow. Yeah,
Oh, the
the Netherlands.
Nephilims. They brought
Yeah.
the Noah's Ark was the whole story
And
of
oh
getting
yes,
rid of the
and Noah's Ark.
Nephilims.
And guess what? Noah is I think is Enoch's father or uncle.
Yeah, something
Anyway,
like that. They're related. Yeah.
related, and they both lived up to like 200 to 300 years old. That
Yeah.
says they're kind of like hybrid humans in a sense. Like
So
they're kind of meant to be here doing what they're doing and saying. So and there's so there's that story too, where the fact that he's giving credit to these angels that came here, kind of seeding men. Even that's how the flood came. Again, guy was not liking the giants and what's happening on Earth, and then he kind of did that. I don't know if it's before this happened or after, but the Tower of Babel is another great one where like
oh.
tells me that's very alien. Because why does God have such a petty human emotion of jealousy over his own creation when he sees his
In
people
the
building
Old
this
Testament.
megalithic structure?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. In
this
the Old
isn't.
Testament.
Yeah, in the Old Testament. I'm saying I love the old stuff. I'm always referring to the
Mhm.
old stuff.
History.
Yes, but in my mind and my alien eye, how I see it, no, like they were building this gigantic tower to where God is in the clouds, where he could be sitting in a flying chariot.
Hmm.
Wanted to be like God in a sense, but he's like, you know what? Overnight when they're sleeping, I'm gonna zap them in their heads. So when they wake up, they're not gonna know what language to speak, and they're gonna just get angry at each other and fight, and just the work will be done.
Let me watch this shit.
Yeah. So so after they wake up, everybody was like can communicate with each other. They got angry, and they all spread it around the earth. That's how we have our all different languages. That's another theory about how
Yeah.
that came to be. And then we have angels coming down on ladders. We have stories of that. And we have Jonah and the whale being swallowed up for 3 days. And how are you going to survive in a whale in 3 days? Especially when he describes inside the whale, it's glowing golden ribs of the whale.
Yep. Yep.
So it's
Okay, here's
like,
another one. Here's another one.
yeah.
Isaiah 68 describes entities that fly as a cloud, as a
Mhm.
passage, and then some interpret that as like divine beings, heavenly transport. aliens, like
Hmm.
so many of the angelic experiences were um alien, were
Yeah.
paranormal. Like it's just
It's not bad.
I'm
It's not like again, we're not losing God here in a sense. This
no, no,
interpret it.
yeah, I mean, no offense to religion, but like
No.
in the same point, raised as a Catholic, like the Catholicism did kind of use fear and labeling
Hmm.
to if they didn't know something, they needed to label it or make it demonic.
Yes.
It is what it is. I mean, like like I said, I still believe in God. I'm spiritual, whatever, but certain religions do use fear as a tool.
I'd say I
I
can name one.
don't want to get too controversial here.
Yeah, right. But Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, feel sorry for those people. They're the ones getting tricked
Well, so get
into.
this. So my parents actually, so my dad loved theology, religion, politics, conspiracy theories. I
Cool.
grew up with that shit at the dinner table. Like
Awesome.
that was normal conversation. When I talk to people, that's not offensive to me. Like let's talk, right? And it's like nowadays you can't say things, you can't say opinions, you can't have a conversation. It's hard.
Yeah. No, you're right. We have split politics. You don't know who to talk to and who you think you're going to offend.
Mhm.
Uh, Yeah, it's again, it's so silly at the end of the day. That's why I'm more focused on this extraterrestrials being here side by side ever since, and they're just watching us just kind of go down the drain, or just waiting for us to ready to push that nuclear button where they will step in and say, "Shit, we've been here," or no, who knows? Like I think there's um that the mothership or the comet that's supposed to be coming here,
Mhm.
IL Atlas or something. I forget the fucking name
Yeah,
of
the
it.
whole religion. Yeah. Yeah, I know
Yes.
what you're talking about. But
And yeah,
it's just crazy to be like brought up in that, and to me it's not a big deal. So I can talk about it. And then other people it's just like super offensive. But I when I was raised Catholic, like I questioned my religion in confirmation,
hmm,
and that's when everything changed. So but now I'm like I'm very open to everything. Like I like to learn about all the different religions and all the different things and theories and spirituality, you know what I mean?
yeah. I just like to point out a lot of the religions have their core point. Let me get back to the cargo
Oh.
cult of how I never really explained the cargo cult. That's how like again I said the first religions were weather, but then something benevolent came to be. And during World War II, when we were fighting the Japanese in the Pacific, we were making some of those islands. U.S. bases, and some of those islands were inhabited by indigenous people that never seen an airplane before, and they thought these airplanes were these thunderbirds that were coming to their ancestors, coming back to them in some sort of way. And they said the crafty white pirate took in these planes after they see these white people coming out of them and shit.
Course. Yeah.
So after the Americans left these islands, the indigenous people started making runways out of the jungle. What they saw the Americans doing, making runways out of the jungle, making life-size airplanes out of bamboo and straw, and writing USA on their chest with bamboo rifles, marching back and forth
Oh.
against runway to entice other airplanes to land on their airport, knowing that their ancestors were just getting confused and who the hell. Again, where they get that idea from. Like, how is that such an
Yeah.
impulse? And there's 150 cargo cults that still exist today. Like, you can even go further back with ancient India. They talk about these 200 gods with like blue skin that had all different
Mhm.
traits, and they're coming
Mhm.
down with flying chariots called Vimana. Because these guys need a vehicle to go to point A to point B in their
Yeah.
religion too. This is all in the Hindu religion. So it's just like, again, these gods
All
had
connecting.
and the gods in India had disagreements with each other too. They had wars rage against each other. And the Mahabharata talk about descriptions of nuclear war. There's people they describe in the Hindu text of like radiation sickness, of like hair falling out and
Really?
vomiting, your fingernails falling out, and pregnant women pregnant women at the time. Babies all died, elephants died, things around the fight zone or the war zone of aliens were dying. Yeah, so it's just like hearing that in the Bibles too. But when these extraterrestrials leave, they always say they're promised to return. So when
Mm-hmm.
the ones in ancient India went off, all the temples that you see in India are in the shape of Vimana,
Mm-hmm.
flying
Yep.
vehicles of the gods. And you can go further back in uh, Brazil. There's a tribe out there called the Kayapo Indians, and they have an awesome story about this thing came down with fire and smoke on top of their mountain peak, and these people were like animals, are very straight up out of the caves, and were drinking from the same
Yeah.
water hole as the animals. But this thing came into their little village, and it was like the Michelin Man, like straight up bulbous, like Stay Puff coming in with his bulbous suit, and
Yeah.
he's coming for the brave Indians try to fight him with throwing
Mm-hmm.
sticks and spears and shit at him, but all the stones and sticks would turn into dust when it hit his clothing. And he pulls out a weapon and blows up a tree nearby and it scares off all the Indians into the bush. And
Mm-hmm.
he stands in their village as a statue for days until some other brave Indians come in there with food, offering it to his feet. And then he starts speaking their language. And they're like, whoa, how do you know
Whoa.
our language?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I had to listen to you motherfuckers in the bush talking about what you're going to do with me. But in actuality, I just wanted to tell you, I want to teach you, I wanted to stay here and observe you. So yeah, he taught him mathematics, agriculture, and they have a school named after him that still exists today. Bep Karoti, as what it's called, and they have a yearly celebration of how he came down and interacted with the people. And these people still live like how they did today, or in the ancient times. They still like wear like a long cloth and like still hunt with spears and stuff like that. They don't really have the
Yeah.
outside world to mess with much, but they have this yearly celebration of dressing up one of the villagers as Bep Karoti in the straw astronaut suit. And he's
My
there with his
yeah.
weapon, and they're just singing the song of how he came down and interacting with the people. And he did. He married one of the women there, Bep Karoti. Again, he must have been able to mate with women. And he had
Mm-hmm.
white skin, he said, too, with a beard. They don't have beards down
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
No, yeah. My dad grew up. My dad moved to Brazil for a while and taught English in Brazil. So
oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah.
it is super
Ask
interesting.
your dad if he knows about the Kayapo Indians.
Oh, he does.
Oh,
Yeah.
does he? Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
knows all the stuff. He
Okay.
has all the stories.
Cool. No, again, I just find that so interesting and it's so of the same story. And then Beb Karoti says to the people, I'm going to return one day. And the story keeps going on and on. We could talk about the Hopi Indians, talking about the
Hmm.
Kachinas.
Hmm.
And these are astronaut-like beings that are all decked out. I might have a few pictures here of my personal collection. I like showing it on.
What? I want to see this.
This is my Kachina doll collection. They're all
Woo!
from the 1950s, except for the ones in
Beautiful.
the back in the 1930s.
Wow,
And
that's beautiful.
I have like a humongous shrine of the Hopi. Again,
Cool.
very ancient astronaut-like, um, very bulbous and robotic looking, even
Hmm.
masks, or not the masks, but the helmets of. And I love how, again, the cargo cult starts where the women dress like this extraterrestrial, like that has the bonnets, like Princess Leia.
Ah,
So the women, the
yes.
Hopi
Star
women,
Wars fan.
yeah. So the Hopi women wear their hairstyle like that and
Hmm.
dress just like this creature in particular.
Love that.
Yeah. So again, what they saw and what they interacted with, uh, it says it all. These people aren't lying. These ancient people, they had nothing else to do, and the only
Yes.
things that they sketched onto the walls were the most important and most, worthy of putting anything on there. So, and it is
It's
hard
hard
as
work. It's
it is
hard
hard
work
work to
to get shit
scarp,
on a rock. Like, come on.
dude, especially with the tools they had. No
Yes.
way.
That's what
And
I'm
to get
saying.
it
That
just
shit's
perfect.
important.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's endless.
Oh, we could go on and on.
No, it's fun to talk about. I love meeting people like you. That's one reason why I wanted you on here because you're just another UFO enthusiast and just has other ideas and maybe other experiences and stuff like that. I just like bouncing off ideas and theories with other people who are like-minded. So, no, I really appreciate you coming on with me tonight. That was super dope. And the fact that you're from
Yeah.
Milwaukee, yeah,
Yeah.
it's sick.
Fun. I
That
love
was awesome.
it.
Yeah. But hey, I gotta get going here. But yeah, that was awesome. Would you stay with me for 2 more minutes?
Yes.